So this Islamic clerics divisive Muslim ticket remarks has drawn widespread backlash online. His name is Sheikh Sani Yahaya Jingir, the national chairman of Jamatu, whatever, Jibwis or whatever, has sparked intense controversy after a recent event in Kano. He strongly advocated continued support for Muslim political ticket ahead of the 2027 general election and referred to non-Muslims with a term that Muslims, not just him, is rooted in their religion. They regard non-Muslims as infidels. But what made it worse is just that look at the governor of Kano State, the governor of Jigawa State. They were present when this man was making these damnable remarks and they were just laughing and cheering. But to even make it worse, these two governors are yet to issue a statement distancing themselves from this damnable statement that this cleric made. They are yet to issue a statement. And Bayo Nanoga, Tinubu's spokesperson, is yet to even issue a statement, not even from the presidency. They were just laughing. The man, while speaking at this event, he described himself as a staunch advocate of the arrangement, urged Muslims to obtain their permanent voters card, and called the unity behind such tickets. He said that Muslim tickets showed that Muslims outnumber Christians, and urged supporters to show infidels their limit against those claiming numerical superiority. In fact, he questioned whether advocating for the ticket was wrong, noting that other groups pursued their own interest and framed opposition as coming from infidels embittered by the idea. But that did not end well with him, because I know a lot of Muslims online. In fact, among the people who have condemned his statement is Rabiu, Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State and also vice presidential candidate of Nigeria Democratic Congress. He strongly criticized him. He said, Kwankwaso said, "I am deeply concerned by the comments made by Sheikh Sani Yahaya Jingir at an event in Kano this weekend. At this critical moment in our nation's history, statements that promote divisive and disunity must be firmly discouraged. It is particularly troubling to hear such rhetoric from a religious leader of Sheikh Jingir's stature and influence. Let it be clearly stated, the good people of Kano do not endorse or support these divisive remarks. Political and religious leaders alike carry a solemn responsibility to uphold truth, foster unity, and advance reconciliation. We must not lend our voices to utterances capable of undermining the very foundation of our nationhood. The 2027 general elections will be an opportunity for Nigeria to renew good governance with resounding support and to reject poor performance at the polls. This administration has earned the latter. God bless Nigeria." That's what Rabiu Kwankwaso said. And also another fiery prophet also condemned his damnable Islamic rhetoric. Now, it's not new to us. I mean, he's not even the first a sheikh or whatever thing you call him to come up and say such jargon. It's a jargon to me. Prophet Isa El-Buba blasted him for calling Christians infidels. In fact, when you regard people of other faith, you just know that they are regarding Christian. This is what Professor Isa El-Buba said before you listen to him. As of today, I have supported over 10,000 Muslims across the country. Look at this. I don't want to use the word to call him bastard or whatever thing. Who calls himself a religious leader, and the brainless leaders in the north calling Christians infidels. Northern Nigeria has one of the highest rates of poverty in the world. No one is disputing that. Go to the southeast, Lagos and Abuja, you will see Arewa beggars everywhere. Are you not ashamed of what terrorists are doing in the north? This is what Professor Isa El-Buba, responded or replied to this man.
I'm coming to every Nigerian with a very serious, heavy heart, because I thought that at this stage of our lives, especially when we're getting older, we should begin to think about Nigeria and how we can all live together in peace. As of today, I have supported over 10,000 Muslims across northern Nigeria. They have no relationship with me at all. Whether it is the school of their children, whether it is their housekeeping, it is home issues and all of that. But look at this bastard that called himself a religious leader. These are the kind of people that I suppose that government should pick. But I can see the governor of Kano State, This is how insane all of you are in northern Nigeria, some of you. This is the way you think. People that are brainless. Somebody is standing there in your meeting shouting, Muslim, calling Christians infidels. And I'm going to go take this. If Christians should do this, who is going to have a country? Northern Nigeria, Muslims with the highest. You talk about the highest capital poverty of the world. Are you not ashamed? Are you not ashamed that banditry is here in the north? Criminality is here in the north. It is here in the north you have the highest level of drug addicts that you are supposed to be, if you are sane, to begin to preach the message that will help to bring people out of bondage and out of their captivity. You are there making stupid statement and inciting against Christians and calling them, look at them, infidels, if they think they have voting power. Woe to any Christian that is going to align themselves with these evil, brainless people and creatures. And I'm speaking to my Muslim brothers who are saying, you cannot be allowing this kind of creatures to be flowing among you. And I want to say to all the Kano people, it's time that whatever is your name, the governor of Kano, it's time you throw that guy out of that seat. He doesn't deserve it. Look at it. I'm going to play the video. If a governor is sitting under such kind of evil hate speech and he's praising this wicked evil man called Jingir, whatever your name is, your cup is full. It will not be well with you. And God's word cannot be broken. It shall not be well with the wicked. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Do come in Arewani. But I'm tolerating in mutumin da ba shi da kai yadda muke sufa ya kamata muna tunani ka tashi kana kiran kristoci kafirai su gani yanzu kafiran su gani muslim ina suke kaza nonsense. Kana magana cewa kana samun musulmai ne kawai suke aure daya. Kristoci ga suna da mata guda uku guda hudu suna da yara, amma wa'in ne masu wahala yanzu a cikin muslim ticket din ba musulman bane yawanci yan arewa. Muna haɗa hannunmu da malamai da suke nan da tunani kamar Sheikh Sale da wayansu, muna haɗa hannaye tare mu ganin za mu yi solving maganar nan arewa, arewacin Najeriya. Almajirai dukkanin arewa ne. Ka tafi Lagos yan arewa ne beggars, ka tafi Anambra arewa ne beggars, ka tafi Abuja arewa ne yan beggars. Ba za ka shiga abun nan bai shiga maka bane, bai shiga maka kai ba. Abun haushi. To bari na gaya maka, muna wannan arewan. To bari gani muslim ticket da kake magana ko zai bambanta abinci ko zai kawo muku abin da ya kamata. Duba wahalan da mutane suke ciki. Ya kamata wani wannan lokacin ne kowa ya nazari nagari. And I want to say to all of you, it's time we prove to such wicked, evil, brainless creatures that Nigeria is bigger than them. El-Rufai is learning his lesson in a bitter way. I'm grateful to the governor of Kaduna State that now he has seen that balance and justice is required. God that we serve is a God of justice and fairness. Kapuna apara Muslimci Christianity tanano. Ko Allah kuma betala sa kowa ba. He did not compel anybody. Kowa ye adilin da yake so. Wane ne kai? Ka kira Kristoci kafirai infidels. You mindless creature. It will not be well with you.
Now, it didn't just stop there. I saw a lot of comments from, I believe, either Yoruba Muslims or Hausa Muslims. This guy, Ife Salako, said, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually cares about the unity of Nigeria, he should be the first to condemn the religious divisive statement made by Sheikh Sani Yahaya Jingir. At least, he could have ordered Mr. Bayo Nanuga to write another long epistle criticizing the dangerous statement. The entire APC camp are acting like such statement is not a threat to existence of this country, or because they think politics is more important to them than the unity and progress of Nigeria. One day, we will have a president that truly cares about Nigeria and Nigerians for now. And this is true. Imagine if a Christian prophet or bishop or pastor made this statement. That Christian religious leader must have already been invited by DSS or appropriate bodies for questioning. This is what this guy said. I said, Sheikh Jingir is speaking for himself and people like him. He is not speaking for us. We were the first to call him out. We Muslims do not shield any Muslims who does nonsense. I've said it repeatedly. Islam has nothing to do with what he is doing. He is only looking for political patronage. Again, we strongly condemn this habit of forcing Islam into democracy and the dirty politics people play in this country. When the Iwo Mufti did it last week, I called him out. The Sheikh is clamoring for a Muslim president. Meanwhile, Muslims have ruled the country 3 times more than Christians, particularly the northern Muslim. If it were to be by what Islam preaches, the North will not be facing the multidimensional issues it is facing today. In fact, this is the best comment or the best reply I have seen, to this damnable statement. Let me read that again. He said, if it were to be by what Muslim preaches, the North will not be facing the multidimensional issues it is facing today. Their leadership has not helped the Muslim community at all, which is true. Let me go back to the other line. He said the northern Muslims have been the one ruling Nigeria for the longest of time, but the region is the most poor region in the country, the most impoverished, the most uneducated, the worst of everything. In fact, the bad image or bad picture that Nigeria is the bad picture that of Nigeria all over the world that people are seeing, they are seeing it majorly from the northern part of the country. Bandits, kidnapping here and there is happening more in the north. But we see this sheikh or whatever thing, imams or whatever thing, they will stay in their clothes, they stay in the mosque or whatever, start talking rubbish. That's why somehow I felt like I was in support of what the Niger State governor said. Say before Islamic leaders should go and preach to the people, they should bring a copy to them so that they will know what they are preaching to them. It has got to be the time. The time has come for us to know what these people are telling these people, because many Nigerians are gullible. So this guy said, if anybody is shouting Muslim ticket right now, know that it is pure politics and not Islam. And in politics, that's fair. I will continue to say my truth. We will never allow political hijackers to hijack our region for their dirty games. And I think I'm also in support of his comment. This is what this guy also said. He said, Sani Yahaya Jingir has mastered the art of rage-baiting Nigerians. First, he was gaslighting Muslims, and now he's trying to gaslight Christians with his constant Muslim agenda. And to be honest, many Nigerian Christians are genuinely unhappy with this obsession with the Muslim ticket. Sani Yahaya Jingir doesn't seem to care about what Hausa people and Nigerians are going through. All he seems to care about is his own interest, his associates, and those within his circle. With all the killings happening across the country, this man still had the audacity to stand before a crowd and say, I don't care, as long as it is Muslim ticket, then I'm okay with it. The most disturbing part was the way people were hailing him. Not just people, 2 governors, Governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, and Governor of Jigawa, I don't even know him. They were there also clapping. This guy said, I'm very sure that a large majority of the people in that crowd were Hausa. Now tell me, how are we going to overcome religious manipulation in northern Nigeria? The worst thing that have ever happened to this country is religious manipulation. Election is around the corner. By December, campaign will be over. January will face the election. Religious manipulation will be at its peak. Maybe next month, September or October, religious manipulation will set in. They will start preaching damnable things in various mosques, in various churches too. Who to support? There is no way any sensible Nigerian should go and support Tinubu with what this country is going. But you go to some churches, I don't want to mention them, they will tell you to support Tinubu. You go to some mosque, they will tell you to support Tinubu. It's got worse. This guy said the most disturbing part was that the way people were. Okay, tell me, how are we going to overcome religious manipulation in northern Nigeria? Some people don't seem to care about the suffering of ordinary people. All they care about is their interest, and when the time comes, they will defend those they support, even when those individuals are accused of serious wrongdoing or links to banditry. They don't just care. They sit around politicians to enrich their pockets. Dangers of fighting words. That's how Seloka puts it. The only danger greater than this dissembling fighting words is the inexplicable silence by some in condemning such fighting words that combine bigotry, sophistry, and religious intolerance. Sheikh Yahaya Jingir has spoken from the abundance of his heart. But for who else did he speak? Nigeria is a Muslim country, he said, by what account and standard and under what constitution? He said more, which I will not dignify by repeating here. When fighting words like these are deployed with utter disregard for its consequence, those who stay mute or refuse to condemn such utterances are equally complicit, and I believe that implicity and explicitity. So for me, I believe what he said. You are implicitly or explicitly complicit to what this man has said. If you remember, like I said, as of now, the governor of Kano State, governor of Jigawa State, through their media aides, have not been able to issue any statement distancing themselves from what this man said. Even Tinubu and his buyer Nanoga, they are yet to issue any statement. People like Reno Mokri, that will always, in his social media pages, write an epistle. He is yet to, give us his opinion on this damnable or divisive statement. This guy said they buy into the divisive mindset and groupthink that elicit such venom. The Sheikh's words may be vexatious. Condoning them is dangerous and a threat to national security. I am still waiting to see what these people have got to say, because you can't let this man go scot-free. He can't go scot-free with such a damnable statement. Those are called themselves infidels. Muslim ticket. Did Tinubu really win election? If we should come to that, did he really win the election? If Nigeria is a working country or a working government like you have in America, that imagine sitting American president was defeated like Donald Trump in 2020, Tinubu will be out of office. The opposition will unite. I keep reading on social media blogs that the opposition want to unite to pick a consensus candidate. It will never happen, because Atiku never believed that he can support a candidate in his life. He will continue to run that until he doesn't have leg to run again. So this is what this guy called Yusuf said. He said that Sheikh Jingir's statement on Muslim ticket belongs to him, his belly, and his pockets. According to him, he said the statement reeks of religious bigotry, and a leader of that stature, given the length of time he has been an Islamic cleric, should know that just a word from him can sink Nigeria. It is unacceptable. Baba Yusuf is a political strategist and group CEO, Global Investment and Trade Company.
First of all, he poo-poos it. For a better phrase, I'm a Muslim, and I say clearly no to religious extremism, no to vitriol, bitter narrative by leaders, especially religious leaders. And I'll say this emphatically: Sheikh Yahaya Jingir's statement belongs to him and his belly and his pocket, because this is not what we expect from political leaders, even of political cycle. Mm-hmm. This statement is demagoguery. It's reeks of religious bigotry, and a leader of that stature, by age, by his stand in society, and the length of time he has been an Islamic cleric, he should know that just a word from him can sink this country. So to that extent, it is completely unacceptable. And I dare say, and I stand to be corrected, that the majority of Muslims are not with this kind of, irresponsible statement from this Islamic cleric.
Nevertheless,
yes,
he was saying it, and you could see from the video that
I'm even heading there.
There were three governors.
I was heading there.
I mean,
what is
they
more
were applauding
yes,
what he was
Charles,
saying.
What is more ominous for me?
Yeah.
Was I was scanning the background to see the reaction of the governors sitting and other political leaders and society leaders, their facial expressions, their demeanor. And what I saw, for me, was worse than the statement of Sheikh Jingir. And what is more heartbreaking is hours and days later, and counting, there is no counter position taken by political leaders to assuage the feelings of our brothers and sisters within the Muslim and across the religion, particularly in this case, the quote-unquote people that are called infidel. In a country whereby the man actually scored an own goal. And for the leaders that are sitting there and smiling away, I wonder what is going on in the mind of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is a Christian, and the president himself, whose son, the oldest son at the moment, is a Christian, so he's having a diverse home, running a diverse government, right? How he is feeling with this man that has called an own goal. Why? Because he is trying to oversell a Muslim ticket. Right. And that, for me, is the issue, because if we really want a united Nigeria, we should go beyond it. Even the politics should be. I didn't know that the politics is so rotten till I saw this position, because I expected a position to be taken to counter this and assuage fears and show us that we are running a country that is. I'm sorry, right. Charles, I'm feeling like this because it's a time for us. It's time for us to put a stop to this going forward.
Questions.
I'm not sure how the Christian community, especially in northern Nigeria, had to receive the words of the Islamic cleric there. But how exactly have you received those words? Particularly the fact that I see 3 governors there who perhaps were just laughing. I'm not sure exactly why.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and once again, good morning. Let me put it this way to our viewers. There is always a day that you will not pretend. We've been living in pretense in Nigeria, lying to ourselves that we are together, lying to each other that there is unity, lying to each other that we are co-citizens. But for us as Christians in the North, we know the pretense have always been there for all these decades. So I think Sheikh Jingir just find an opportunity to open up what has been happening in the secret, because when we cry out that we are being persecuted, when we cry out that there is a dominance or people have deliberate attempt to dominate us, no, why are you complaining? This is not true. Today we have it. The man didn't just say it in his room. The man said it in the presence of 3 governors, and they were all smiling. An action that would have been frowned upon, an action that would have been rebuked, an action that would have been rejected by them instantly. But because this is the reality of what happens in a larger heart of our colleagues, our neighbors here. So they just say it out. So to us as Christians, we are glad that at least Nigerians can understand when next they hear us crying, that look, we have been marginalized. When the next year, even if it is not commanded as my colleague said, I like what he said, and I'm so happy that we could have people like him speaking out. But you know, these are things that we experience every day. People looking down on us. How could someone in such a gathering call me, Rabiu, an infidel, or call every Christian an infidel? He did not even have the courtesy to understand as a cleric. And I wonder, all these years of his teaching, what has he been teaching his people? You can see he has been teaching them hate. He has been teaching them dislike for the Christian folk. So when a young man out there burnt our church, killed our pastor, don't blame him, understand where he's coming from. So for us, we just simply realize that this whole thing that has been acting as if it does not exist is coming out to public glory. Will you tell me that the current Muslim ticket that you claim to have put was only elected by Muslims? No, sir. I can count names of states that are mostly Christians. The man won in those states. So it wasn't just the Muslims that voted for him. Even though we had concerns and advised that there should be a balance for fairness, but we were not going to war to insult anybody on anything. We only wanted understanding and togetherness, as our brother has quoted from Constitution. If you respect me, you don't come out publicly and make such kind of derogatory statement against me, against my faith, just for politics. It's no longer politics. It is the reality that has been going on the ground.